Hi there, Pilot Rick here. In this video, I take to the skies and head up to Oshkosh, Wisconsin to meet up with my EAA Chapter 9 crew for some camping camaraderie in Camp Scholler during AirVenture 2025. You can catch this video, along with all my other flying escapades, on my YouTube channel, Big Adventures in Small Planes, from cross-country hops to camping flyouts. It's all there for fellow aviation enthusiasts and curious passengers alike. This year's AirVenture was one for the record books. More than 704,000 attendees and over 10,000 aircraft converged on Oshkosh for the world's largest fly-in convention. From vintage warbirds to cutting-edge home builds, it was aviation in paradise at full throttle. Diehards like Ben Riggs and Don Mrzinski rolled into Camp Scholler way ahead of the crowd, staking out prime real estate before most folks have even packed their tents. These guys don't just attend AirVenture, they are AirVenture. Ben rolls in with his camper, complete with air conditioning, a private bathroom, and all the creature comforts of home. He might be onto something. Meanwhile, the rest of us are still figuring out which way the tent door opens. Here's everything I've packed for the trip. Now officially Gabe's burden to lug up to our campsite in Darren's van. Gabe rolled out of the OSU airport in Darren's van, packed to the gills with gear, grub, and enough camping supplies to outfit a small expedition. Several EAA Chapter 9 members made the flight up to Oshkosh this year. Here's George Lungley with Alex Hedrick, ready for takeoff aboard George's Cirrus SR-22. With 310 horses under the cowl and a sleek composite frame, they'll make the trip look effortless. Darren made it in early and scored a parking spot in the vintage area. That's what happens when you know the drill and show up before the rush. Here come Aaron and Emma Friedman, flying in formation as part of the Bonanza mass arrival. With over 100 Beechcrafts, they made a grand entrance into Oshkosh, just in time to beat the weather and join the celebration at AirVenture 2025. Now on the ground and hamming it up, Aaron and Emma wasted no time slipping into full AirVenture mode. Smiles, selfies, and that unmistakable Bonanza pride. The envy of us all, Aaron scored a ride with the Titan T-28s, an unforgettable experience flying along with these iconic warbirds. With their thunderous radial engines and classic lines, the T-28 Trojans put on a show that's part history, part horsepower. Not everyone gets a seat in that formation, but Aaron was the lucky winner. Our flight plan kicks off from Don Scott Field in Columbus, Ohio, heading northwestbound to Oshkosh with a couple of strategic stops for fuel, food, and a chance to stretch our legs. It's not just about the destination, it's about the journey and also the sandwiches. We departed the Ohio State University Airport just before 10 a.m. on Friday, July 18th, en route to AirVenture. Riding along was Blake McDonald, and this flight marked a special milestone, his first experience in IMC since earning his license. We climbed through the cloud deck and leveled off into smooth, sunlit skies, a welcome reward after punching through the gray. Here we are landing at our first fuel stop, Fulton County Airport in Rochester, Indiana. It's a perfect spot to stretch our legs and top off the tanks with cheap fuel before continuing northwest toward Oshkosh. Wheels up from Rochester, and it wasn't long before we were back in the soup. Smooth climb, in and out of IMC, and a steady course northwestbound. Leaving the clouds behind us, we touched down under clear skies at Rochelle, Illinois, our final fuel stop before Oshkosh. The sun was out, the air was smooth, and lunch was served with a show. Skydivers from the Chicagoland Skydiving Center dropping in just yards from our table. Not a bad way to refuel both the plane and ourselves. Leaving Rochelle behind, we pointed the nose north towards Oshkosh and the famous Fisk arrival. Taxiing in, we saw a familiar figure, Jimmy Devine from our EAA chapter, arms waving as he marshals us in like he'd been waiting just for us. We finally made it to our chapter's campsite. Sweltering in the heat, I built my own little home away from home, tent pitched, gear stowed, and a folding chair with my name on it. Under the shade tent, the coolers are full, the snacks are stacked, and the gang's all here. Blake and Gabe telling stories, swapping lies, and soaking up the sights. During the week, I volunteered at 3 locations, twice at the Air Care Alliance Pavilion and once at the Freedom Aviation Network booth inside the Woman Venture Pavilion. Reagan and Anna got their picture taken, along with hundreds of others. One of our chapter members spotted our patch proudly displayed on the museum's chapter map, a small piece of fabric, a big point of pride. Look up from the shade tent, and there it was, the Goodyear blimp cruising overhead like it owned the sky. With 2 airships at Oshkosh this year, celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Goodyear blimp, even our campsite got a front row seat to history. The sun's dipping low, and the crowd is buzzing. Lawn chairs angled, cameras charged, snacks within reach. Tonight's the legendary Night Air Show, and AirVenture 2025 is pulling out all the stops. Afterburners, drones, fireworks, and aerial pyrotechnics will light up the sky starting at 8 p.m.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
At Whitman Regional Airport during AirVenture 2025, the control tower earns its legendary title, handling an average of 108 takeoffs and landings per hour during peak days. From mass arrivals like Cessnas to Oshkosh, to warbirds, ultralights, and jets, the airspace choreography is nothing short of astonishing. A sign proudly declaring "World's busiest control tower" hangs on the tower itself, and it's not just for show. With over 16,000 aircraft operations in just 11 days, the controllers here are the unsung heroes of the skies, guiding everything from vintage tail draggers to modern turboprops with precision and calm. Whether you're grabbing a quick bite between air shows or settling in for a hearty post-flight meal, Oshkosh delivers. Right on the AirVenture grounds, you'll find everything from cheese curd tacos and gourmet waffle sticks to Chick-fil-A, Jersey Mike's, and Latin fusion fare. Several chapter members took a break from the buzz of Whitman Field and made their way to the Seaplane Base, a hidden gem nestled in a wooded cove along Lake Winnebago's western shore. It's a world apart from the roar of jets and the hustle of the flight line. Here, the only sounds are lapping water, distant propellers, and the music of a steel drum player. Visitors can relax on the shoreline, watch seaplanes taxi in and out, or hop aboard a free pontoon boat tour that glides past moored amphibs while narrators share stories of each aircraft's journey. The vibe is peaceful, almost meditative, a perfect counterbalance to the high-octane energy of AirVenture proper. After an unforgettable week at AirVenture 2025, our return flight to Ohio kicked off with a quick departure from Whitman Field, skipping the notoriously long taxi from the South 40 thanks to some smart video editing. The route included a familiar and reliable fuel stop at Rochelle, a favorite for its easy access and friendly service. Colin joined me on this flight back, which included an IFR approach into Rochelle. After topping off the tanks at Rochelle, it was wheels up for the last leg home to Ohio. The skies were initially calm, but soon became angry, layered with summer downpours. IFR kept things crisp at first, but after punching through one too many rain shafts, we decided to descend and fly VFR beneath the IMC chaos. A smooth flight letting us weave our way around the Midwest summer rain shafts. With a big, black, angry storm parked over the Ohio State Airport, we made the call to divert, choosing Delaware Airport as our refuge. We landed just ahead of a banner tour, also seeking shelter from the weather, both of us threading through the leading edge of the system like birds outrunning a wave. A couple of hours later, after helping the banner tower secure his gear and watching the slow-moving storm drift east from over the Ohio State Airport, it was finally time to head home. The skies had settled just enough to make the short hop from Delaware back to home base, with the storm providing one last performance. Spectacular lightning arcing across the skies. It was nature's own farewell salute. Back home safe and sound, with 36 Quebec tucked into the hangar at Ohio State. After a day filled with flight adventure, aviation fellowship, and good food, there's nothing quite like the comfort of familiar turf and the soft echo of a closing hangar door. Oshkosh may be behind us, but the stories, the laughter, and the shared skies will linger long after the engine shuts down. That wraps up this journey. Thanks for flying along. We'll see you next time for more big adventures in small planes. Until then, keep the shiny side up, the pointy end forward, and your heart in the sky. Blue skies and tailwinds, friends.
It's about the journey, not the destination.